in 2022.
Oh.
This is when Jet fans were all very excited. If you remember, I spent many a moon on this set saying prior to that draft, there is a cornerback at the University of Cincinnati that I want. I was pounding this table. I spoke Sauce Gardner
You really did.
into existence, okay? I spoke Sauce Gardner into existence, okay? So, and then he gets drafted. And the Jets have 2 first-round picks, and they go ahead and get Garrett Wilson as well. And then they trade back into the first round and get a 3rd first-round pick. Remember that I had Joe Douglas on the program? I'm like, brother, what you just did, you should dine out for free in New York City the rest of your life. Because then in the 2nd round, he goes ahead and drafts Breece Hall. Look at all 4 of those guys, huh? At the time, it's like we got our corner, we got our number 1 wide receiver, we got ourselves a big-time pass rusher, and then we got ourselves a running back to go for it as well. And Breece Hall had like 1st round written all over him. He somehow dropped to the 2nd round, and the Jets grabbed him too. Yep. And everybody's like, this is the core 4. That right there. Yada, yada, yada. Cut to right now.
Are any of them still?
Well, it is interesting because, Sauce Gardner gets traded to Indianapolis last year for 2 firsts. And, Quinnen Williams wasn't on the screen, but he was drafted just right around then as well. And while we're in Indianapolis, the Jets trade Jermaine Johnson away for T'Vondre Sweat. You don't usually trade pass rushers for defensive tackles, but the Cowboys showed you can do that and get away with it.
Worked out.
Ish.
We'll see.
And then, word is, what are they going to do with Breece Hall? Can't let him walk. Would they potentially trade him? They were kept saying, we're going to sign him, we're going to try and at least franchise tag him. And, being a fan of the Jets, you got to sit around going, do you really? Are you gonna? We don't still have a quarterback, because that's what you said back then when you had all 4 of those guys. Like, who's a quarterback? Okay, Zach Wilson, let's go. Year later, they try Aaron Rodgers. That doesn't work out for after 2 years. They're still wondering who the quarterback is there in New York. And to the credit of the front office, they decided to go ahead and franchise tag him today. And sure enough, Breece Hall isn't going anywhere, at least for 1 year. And it's a $14.293 million tag. It's the non-exclusive. The exclusive tag's a little bit even higher, to the point where, the league doesn't even really disseminate that publicly, or at least in the media. You don't even see what the exclusive franchise tag is. Bottom line is, the non-exclusive means the Jets only lose him if somebody offers him a contract and you let him walk and they give you 2 first-rounders. That's not happening for a running back. So, Breece Hall's not going anywhere, and now the Jets will have to try and come to a long-term agreement with Breece Hall. And if they do that, I would counsel to say they do it fast, because Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson are up for contracts. And so is Kenneth Walker III. He's the Super Bowl MVP, and it seems like the Seahawks are ready to let him walk, that they're not going to slap him with the franchise tag. As you know, franchise tags are either placed or slapped on somebody. They're placed on somebody if they don't mind, slapped if they do. Breece Hall, you just saw from that tweet, you have no idea what he's really thinking. Deep down, does he want to be there? Apparently he does. Frank Reich is the new offensive coordinator there. I saw him in Indianapolis. We're assuming he's going to use Breece Hall to his fullest. Who's the quarterback? The bottom line is, at least the Jets have held on to him and have a top-notch running back who last year, despite having nothing going for them last year on offense, the New York Jets still got a season out of Breece Hall that is worthy of his contract or at least the money that he's going to be paid, $14 million, 1,065 yards, career high on a 3-14 team. How does that work? So half of the young core four is still with the team. And the Jets are still asking their fans to trust the process of turning all the draft choices and all the choices that they made about trading away Sauce and trading away Quinnen Williams and trading away Jermaine Johnson. In that process, you must trust. We'll see what happens. Second overall pick. What does this mean? It certainly means, as I love Jeremiah Love, he's not going to be second overall. That's for sure. Because you don't go ahead and franchise tag Breece Hall and choose a running back second overall, nor do you really want to choose a running back second overall sometimes, because it may not work out more often than not. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.